Lying flat on the carpet, watching the smoke dance in the light. No more racing the clock or chasing shadows into the night. The coffee stays black while the thoughts turn a deep shade of blue. Nothing urgent to prove and absolutely nothing to do.
Just the slow vibration of a fan spinning patterns on high, merging my own heartbeat with the vastness of an open sky. I keep the phone on silent, buried deep in the drawer. I don't need a notification to tell me what I am living for.
Walking down the sidewalk with no particular who arrived, feeling the pull of the pavement, just happy to be alive. The city keeps moving like a heavy machine in a gear, but I found a frequency that keeps the static out of my ear.
Not a single dollar could buy back the peace that I found, keeping my head in the clouds while my boots stay flat on the ground. Every stranger I pass is a story that hasn't been read. Instead of counting my troubles, I count the blessings instead.
Take it easy, let the moments breathe and flow. Let that heavy burden sink down deep and let them go. There is a beauty in the way we find our own steady pace in this quiet corner, away from the rush of the race. It is a gentle tide drifting toward us off the shore. We don't need to struggle or fight the current anymore. Just existing in the space where the silence begins to bloom, finding all the comfort inside of a wide and empty room. I used to worry about the milestones and the hills left to climb, thinking every single second was a thief for my limited time. But then I looked at the river and noticed it never demands to be anywhere else but exactly right where it stands. So I tuned out the voices that told me I had to be more, and I stopped keeping track of the winning or losing the score.
The air feels different when you finally decide to just breathe, leaving the tangled webs of the complicated world to weave.
There is a song and a static, a melody hidden in the calm, holding the cool, even breeze right in the palm of my palm. The fireflies are the only lights that I need to see clear, discarding the weight of the past and the ghost of the fear. Nothing is broken on, nothing is waking the fail, just a slow moving boat with the white and the weighted sail. Finding the gold in the gray and the truth in the small, standing right here in the center of nothing else. Take it easy, let the moments breathe and flow. Let the heavy burden sink down deep and let them go. There is a beauty in the world, we mind our own steady pace in this quiet corner, away from the rush of the race. It is a gentle tide drifting toward us off the shore. We don't need to struggle or fight the current anymore. Just existing in the space where the silence begins to bloom, finding all the comfort inside of a wide and empty room. Lying on the sofa while the ceiling fan spins low, watching the smokes dancing in the amber afternoon glow. My coffee's getting cold, but I don't mind the bitter taste. Nothing on the calendar, no minutes left to waste. Tracing patterns in the carpet with the tip of my shoe, thinking about the skyline and the faded shade of blue. Every movement heavy like I'm walking through the sea, just a quiet moment between the world and me.
Stacked up vintage magazines, collecting silver haze, scrolling through the memories, those frantic busy days. But now the phone is silent up beneath the velvet chair. I can feel the stillness flowing through the humid air.
I don't need a compass, I don't need a steady plan. Sifting through the hours like a handful of fine sand. Ice cubes hitting glass, a lonely melody that rings, finding all the magic in the smallest sort of things. Take it slow, let the heavy motion slide away. Nothing gold and it really has a debt to pay. Keep it mellow, keep the volume turned down to the floor. We don't need to look for what we're searching for. Let the seconds stretch into a longer winding road. Leave behind the gravity and drop the heavy load. Just breathing in the quiet till the light begins to fade. Resting in the sanctuary that the silence made.
Soft edges on the corners of the brick and rusty steel. Letting go of every thought that I don't need to feel. The clock is just a circle with the ticking steady beat, merging with the shadows and the haze along the street. No pressure on the shoulders, no demand upon the mind. Leaving every frantic little worry far behind. Soft focus on the horizon where the sun begins to dip. Taking life in measure sips with a loose and easy grip.
Neighborhood is waking as the streetlight start to hum, but I'm rooted in this corner till the morning colors come. Record spinning slowly with the crackle in the groove. I'm in a state of grace where I don't even have to move. Steam rising from the cavement after summer rain has passed, hoping that this temporary clarity will last. The city sounds are crashing waves a dozen miles away, while I'm hanging on the fringes of a dying Tuesday. Close the blinds and let the purple shadows fill the room, and canvas and a cedar in the midnight garden bloom. My heart is beating softly like a drum inside a chest, finally convinced that I'm allowed to take a rest.
No more chasing shadows, no more running for the prize. Just a peaceful vision reflecting in my tired eyes. The universe is vast, but right here feels so small, caught within the safety of these four familiar walls.
Take it slow like a heavy motion slide away. Nothing gold ever really has a debt to pay. Keep it mellow, keep the volume turned down to the floor. We don't need to look for what we're searching for. Let the seconds stretch into a long and winding road. Leave behind the gravity and drop the heavy O. Just breathing in the quiet till the light begins to fade. Resting in a sanctuary at the silence. Take it slow like a heavy motion slide away. Nothing gold ever really has a debt to pay. Keep it mellow, keep the volume turned down to the floor. We don't need to look for what we're searching for. Let the seconds stretch into a long and winding road. Leave behind the gravity and drop the heavy load. Just breathing in the quiet till the light begins to fade. Resting in the sanctuary, let the silence fade.
Sitting on the concrete porch as the sun dips low, watching all the golden hours start to take it slow. No heavy luggage, just a backpack and a worn out map. Finding my own frequency inside this quiet, yeah. The pavement breathes aside while the houses stand in lines, trading all the busy noise for these ancient pines. I am just a passenger on a dusty village street. Listen to the cadence of the earth beneath my feet. Floating on the surface of a lazy afternoon. Melodies are drifting from a distant wooden spoon. Everything is moving like a ship across the bay, letting all the tangled thoughts just simply melt away. Gravity is gentle when you find your inner space. Time is just a shadow that has lost its frantic race. Cassette is spinning and the tape is slightly frayed, staring at the patterns that the heavy blinds are made. I don't need the answers or a ladder to the sky, just a bit of stillness while the clouds are rolling by. Coffee in a cracked mug, getting colder on the ledge. Walking on the wire, but I never feel the edge. World is spinning faster, but I'm anchored to the floor, keeping all the chaos from the hinge upon my door. Floating on the surface of a lazy afternoon. Melodies are drifting from a distant wooden spoon. Everything is moving like a ship across the bay, letting all the tangled thoughts just simply melt away. Gravity is gentle when you find your inner space. Time is just a shadow that has lost its frantic race.
Slow down the spinning of the dusty glow. Hang up the heavy velvet winter robe. Let the gold light settle on the floor. I don't need to wonder what is behind the door. Just a steady pulse of a quiet afternoon, watching the shadows danceless in the room.
Ice cubes melted in a glass of tea. Nothing but the wind for company today. Park car sleeping on the gravel drive. Feels good just knowing that I am alive. No clocks ticking on the whitewashed wall. I didn't answer when I heard the call. Trading the noise for a cedar wood scent. Wondering where all the frantic moments went. Walking barefoot on the cool blue tile. I think I will stay in the space for a while.
Slow down the spinning of the dusty glow. Hang up the heavy velvet winter robe. Let the gold light settle on the floor. I don't need to wonder what is behind the door. Just a steady pulse of a quiet afternoon, watching the shadows danceless in the room.
Clouds drifting by like smoke from a match. Nothing left to carry in, nothing to catch. The radio hums a low frequency tune. Under the ghost of a pale on the moon. My mind is a meadow after the rain, washing away every ounce of the strain. Coffee gets cold but the spirit stays warm. Shelter found far from the center of the storm. Leaves turning copper in the amber glow. Nowhere to hurry and nowhere to go.
Slow down, spinning out the dusty glow. Hang up the heavy velvet winter robe. Let the gold light settle on the floor. I don't need to wonder what is behind the door. Just a steady pulse of a quiet afternoon, watching the shadows danceless in the room.
Stay low-key in a room full of noise. Just me and the static, keeping my poise. The midnight hum is a steady companion, deep in the blue of a citywide canyon. Sipping on cold air, breathing out slow, watching the ink in the notebook flow. No rush to the finish, no race to the wind, just catching the wave where the currents begin. Dust on the needles and gold on the shelf, finding a way to be true to myself. The clock on the wall has forgotten to tick, every move smooth and every flow thick. Clouds drifting past like thoughts in a stream, caught in the middle of a waking dream. Street lights are humming a soft yellow tune, chasing the ghosts under a silver moon. Relax the mind, let the tension release, trade in the chaos for a moment of peace. Steady the pulse, let the world fall away, waiting for tomorrow at the end of the day. Keep it mellow, keep it light as a feather, holding all the broken little pieces together. Yeah, small talk is heavy, but the silence is deep. Walking through shadows while the tired ones sleep. Feet on the pavement, but my head in the trees. Feeling the drift of a summer night breeze. Simple vibrations carry the weight. Never too early, you're never too late. The groove is a river that carries me home. A king with no crown on a velvet throne. The pressure is gone like a bird in the flight, softening the edges of the harsh city light. Steady with the pulse, let the world fall away, waiting for tomorrow at the end of the day. Keep it mellow, keep it light as a feather, holding all the broken little pieces together. Steady the pulse, let the world fall away, waiting for tomorrow at the end of the day. Keep it mellow, keep it light as a feather, holding all the broken little pieces together. Relax the mind, let the tension release, trade in the chaos for a moment of peace. Steady the pulse, let the world fall away, waiting for tomorrow at the end of the day. Keep it mellow, keep it light as a feather, holding all the broken little pieces together. Relax
Relax the mind, let the tension release. Trade in the chaos for a moment of peace. Steady the pulse, let the world fall away. Waiting for tomorrow at the end of the day. Keep it mellow, keep it light as a feather. Holding all the broken little pieces together.
Yeah. The morning leans against the window pane, while the coffee steam drips through the gray terrain. No rush inside the ticking of the clock, just a steady pulse where the minutes lie. I found a rhythm in the silence of the hall, watching shadows stretch and crawl across the wall. My thoughts are moving like a river, deep and slow, letting all the heavy expectations go. Yeah, I left the static on the street below, where the restless spirits always have to go. My sneakers resting on the wooden floor. I don't need to knock upon a different door. The world is spinning, but I'm standing still, finding balance on the edge of my own will. The ink is flowing from a quiet place, setting every worry in the open space. Yeah, everything is settling in its proper seat, feeling every vibration beneath my feet. The air is cool and the light is soft and gold. Stories waiting in the silence to be told. This is the clarity inside the calm, holding every second in an open palm. The drift is easy and the mood is right, walking through the logic of the inner light. No more chasing what was never meant to be, just a simple gravity of being free. Keep the motion steady and the spirit high, watching how the clouds rewrite the empty sky. There's a comfort in the way the colors fade, in the subtle patterns that the sun has made. I used to hunger for the loud and bright, now I'm satisfied within the softest light. The path ahead is not a race to win, it's a quiet door that lets the beauty in. My pulse is level and my mind is clear. There is nothing left to battle or to fear. Yeah, everything is settling in its proper seat, feeling every vibration beneath my feet. The air is cool and the light is soft and gold. Stories waiting in the silence to be told. This is the gravity inside the calm, holding every second in an open palm. The drift is easy and the mood was right, walking through the logic of the inner light. No more chasing what was never meant to be, just a simple gravity of being free. Get the motion steady and the spirit high, watching how the clouds rewrite the empty sky. This is the clarity inside the calm, holding every second in an open palm. The drift is easy and the move is right, walking through the logic of the inner light. No more chasing what was never meant to be, just a simple gravity of being free. Keep the motion steady and the spirit high, watching how the clouds rewrite the empty sky. Yeah.
Inspiration, tracing silhouettes on the crust of the concrete. Listen to the hum of the city in a slow heartbeat. Matching my stride to the sway of the willow trees, filtering the static just to find a little bit of ease. Everything is drifting by like a rubber stream, living through a vision that is smoother than a dream. Let it cruise along the edges of the afternoon. Watch it kind of sunlight fades away too soon. Floating on a wave that is steady and profound, keeping both my feet about an inch above the ground. The world is spinning clockwise, but I'm standing still, finding all the magic in a quiet kind of thrill.
Counting up the shadows as they stretch across the park. Welcome in the cool touch of the coming dark. No need to rush where the air is feeling this cold. Stories in the pavement waiting to be told. Ignited by the spark of a peaceful state of mind. Leaving every heavy thought and worry far behind. Polished like a pebble in a rushing mountain river. Feeling every blessing that the universe can deliver.
Let it cruise along the edges of the afternoon. Watching how the sunlight fades away too soon. Floating on a wave that is steady and profound. Keeping both my feet about an inch above the ground. The world is spinning clockwise, but I am standing still. Finding all the magic in a quiet kind of thrill.
Walking down the pavement with no destination in my sight. Just a heavy air of evening and the fading amber light. I keep my hands inside my pockets while the gravel grinds below. Watching all the shadows stretch out everywhere I go. The city hums a low vibration like a record on a spin. I feel the cooling wind move steady underneath my skin. No need to rush the time and know to force a certain phase. I am drifting through the patterns of these ordinary days. The stars are poking holes through the velvet up above. Quietly ignoring all the things I'm thinking of. I let the heavy worry settle down into the dust. Finding clarity in silence is the only thing I trust. Take it slow, let the world revolve without my hands. Sinking deep into the logic that I finally understand. Every step is just a doorway to a place I've never been. Let the oxygen flow out within, I pull it back again. I am moving with the motion of the tide against the shore. Finding everything I wanted and a little bit of more. Oh. Melodies are leaking from a window down the lane, mixing with the subtle scent of impending summer rain. I see a cat across the alleyway with silver in his fur. The universe is breathing with the soft and steady purr. My heart is like a compass that has ceased to chase the north. Just content to let the simple wandering bring the magic forth. No more counting up the hours or the numbers on the screen. Just a piece that come from dwelling in the spaces in between. Take it slow, let the world revolve without my hands. Sinking deep into the logic that I finally understand. Every step is just a go into a case I've never been. Let the oxygen flow out within, I pull it back again. I am moving with the motion of a tide against the shore. Finding everything I wanted and a little bit of more. Oh. Take it slow, let the world revolve without my hand. Sinking deep into the logic that I finally understand. Every step is just a doorway to a place I've never been. Let the oxygen flow out within, I pull it back again. I am moving with the motion of the tide against the shore. Finding everything I wanted and a little bit of more. Oh. I drift across the cityscape like a slow-moving stone. No pressure on my chest, just keeping the coffee warm. The pavement tells a story that the wind forgot to write. I am catching every shadow in the amber of the light. The clock is ticking backwards, so maybe standing still, watching sunlight crawl across the dusty windowsill. No destination map, that's just a permanent cruise. Trading in my heavy boots for these worn-out shoes. This is how the air feels when the wave starts to lift. Floating on the current, let the whole horizon shift. Not chasing after ghosts or the things I used to need. Just a quiet moment, I'm taking back the steady. Yeah, the world is spinning fast, but I am moving at my pace. Finding all the solace in the wide and open space. The radio was humming something low and out of tune. I could see the outline of a pale morning moon. Conversations in the street sound like a distant sea. Nothing in this moment has a hold or claim on me. I filtered out the static, let the silence be the pace. There is a sense of mercy in the way I leave no trace. Broken plans and no demands are left behind the gate. I stopped running early just to teach my soul to wait. Because how the air feels when the weight starts to lift. Flowing on the current, let the whole world rise. I should not listen after those or the things I used to need. Just a quiet moment, I'm taking back the steady lead. Yeah, the world is spinning fast, but I am moving at my pace. Finding all the solace in the wide and open space. Sometimes you'll have to vanish just to see yourself again. Wash away the ink and throw away the heavy pen. The simplest direction is the one that points inside. Nowhere left to run and nowhere left to hide. Just the breath inside my lungs and the ground beneath my feet. The bitter part is over and the rest is finally sweet. This is how the air feels when the weight starts to lift. Floating on the current, let the whole horizon shift. Not chasing after ghosts or the things I used to need. Just a quiet moment, I'm taking back the steady lead. Yeah, the world is spinning fast, but I am moving at my pace. Finding all the solace in the wide and open space. This is how the air feels when the weight starts to lift. Floating on the current, let the whole horizon shift. Not chasing after ghosts or the things I used to need. Just a quiet moment, I'm taking back the steady lead. Yeah, the world is spinning fast, but I am moving at my own. Finding all the solace in the wide and open space. I settle deep into the velvet of the evening breeze, watching shadows stretch across the solid maple trees. The coffee steam is swirling in a slow and steady dance, while every heavy thought is put into a peaceful trance. Yeah, no ticking clocks to tell me where my focus ought to go. I let the spirit wander where the silver rivers flow. The pavement hums a tune that only starlight understands, holding all the scattered pieces in my open hand. The speakers breathe a steady pulse to keep the floor alive. A midnight sanctuary where the quiet spirits thrive. I see the city lights are blinking like an ancient code along the winding curves of every lonely gravel road. The weight of all the morning worry seems to fade away into the purple curtains of a dying summer day. I find the gold in every simple breath I choose to take and cast a fishing line into the surface of the lake. This is the clarity beneath the heavy sapphire sky, where all the tangled breezes finally learn how to fly. We drift across the ocean on a raft of steady sound, with feet above the clouds despite the gravity of ground. The colors blend together like a painting in the rain, washing out the static in the shadow of the day. Just a soft vibration in the middle of the dawn, finding every amber from a tiny little spot. I trace the patterns on the ceiling with a lazy stare, filtering the oxygen inside the heavy air. No longer chasing shadows in a frantic broken race, I find a hidden rhythm in this hollow space. The pages of the calendar are blank and turn slow beneath the golden lanterns and the amber fireplace glow. Whatever was is gone and what is coming hasn't come. I listen to the hollow beating of the wooden drum. The world is turning sideways on a spinning silver plate. I leave the heavy iron lock upon the outer gate. There's nothing left to prove inside this castle made of glass, as we watch the seasons and the heavy winters pass. This is the cold beneath the heavy sapphire sky, where all the tangled pieces finally learn how to fly. We drift across the ocean in a path of steady sound, with feet above the clouds despite the gravity of ground. The colors blend together like a painting in the rain, washing out the static in the shadow of a ring. Just a soft vibration in the middle of the dark, finding every ember from a tiny little spark. This is the clarity beneath the heavy sapphire sky, where all the tangled pieces finally learn how to fly. We drift across the ocean on a path of steady sound, with feet above the clouds despite the gravity of ground. The colors blend together like a painting in the rain, washing out the static and the shadow of the lane. Just a soft vibration in the middle of the dark, finding every ember from a tiny little star. sit back, watching the shadows crawl up the white wall. Ice cubes melting in a glass while the world stands tall. Window black, just enough to hear the city hum a low tune. Tracing silver lines of dust dancing under the afternoon. No pressure on the clock, it stopped ticking and I would go. Just the way the cooling breeze makes the long curtains flow. Got my feet up on the crate, thinking about nothing at all. Living heavy thought just crumbling, eventually fall. Street lamp flickering like a heart that forgot how to beat. While the asphalt exhales the fever of the midday heat. I found a penny in my pocket from a year I can't name. Everything around me changes but I'm staying the same. Checking the horizon where the blue turns to a hazy gray. Watching all the frantic people try to chase the Saturday. But I'm anchored in the stillness of this worn out wooden chair. Breathing in the silence, hanging heavy in the stagnant air. Slow motion moving through the static of the quiet room. Watching how the golden sunlight starts to fade into the gloom. But every way to be in someone starts to drift and float away. Finding all the magic in the middle of a mundane day. Just a steady pulse beneath the surface of her skin. Letting out the breath I didn't know I was holding in. Everything was balanced on the edge of a simple thought. Giving up the battle for the things that I never saw. Moving through the static of a quiet room. Watching how the golden sunlight starts to fade into the gloom. The heavy weight of being someone starts to drift and float away. Finding all the magic in the middle of a mundane day. Just a steady pulse beneath the surface of the skin. Laying out the breath I didn't know I was holding in. Everything is balanced on the edge of a simple thought. Giving up the battle for the things that I never saw. Maybe there is power in the way we choose to slow it down. Losing the direction in the middle of a crowded town. The compass spinning broken and I like the way it feels to be the only moving part among the iron wheels. No more chasing shadows in a race that has no finish line. Just a humble moment that I finally can claim as mine. The clouds look like they are carved out of blocks of heavy lead. Softly drifting over all the things that we never said. I put the pen down on the table, let the ink dry slow. Learning how to let the river find its own way to flow. The sailor plan spinning like a record with no sound. Feeling like I might have found some solid ground. The day is folding over like a letter put aside. Nothing left to prove and nothing left for me to hide. Slow motion moving through the static of a quiet room. Watching how the golden sunlight starts to fade into the gloom. The heavy need of being someone starts to drift and float away. Finding all the magic in the middle of a mundane blade. Just a steady pulse beneath the records of the skin. Letting out the breath I didn't know I was holding in. Everything is balanced on the edge of a simple thought. Giving out the battlefield. Slow motion moving through the static of a quiet room. Watching how the golden sunlight starts to fade into the gloom. The heavy weight of being someone starts to drift and float away. Finding all the magic in the middle of a mundane day. Just a steady pulse beneath the surface of the skin. Letting out the breath I didn't know I was holding in. Everything is balanced on the edge of a simple thought. Giving up the battle for the things that I never saw. Yeah, I sit back watching the smoke floating drift. Moving through the day like a car to slow lift. The sun leans heavy on the backyard fence. Finally cutting through all the static in the tents. I keep my sneakers laced loose and my mind on the prize. Just some quiet in the soul and a break for the eyes. No clock on the wall, ticking holes in the mood. Just a plate of comfort and a little bit of food. Everything moving at a pace I can hold. Turning all the lead back into heavy gold. Ice cubes rattling against the glass rim. Watching shadows stretch stretch and the light grow dim. I don't need the crowd or the loud heavy bass, just a steady little pulse and a breathing space. The sidewalk is warm and the evening is wide. Nowhere rushing and nothing to hide. Keep the volume level where the thoughts can belong, like the missing pieces to a forgotten song. Writing out the pages of a different kind of day, watching every single worry simply pull away. Staring at the ceiling while the world goes by, catching every cloud in the corner of my eye. Gravity is holding and the weight is all gone. Walking on the grass until the break of the dawn. Keeping it steady and keeping it low. Following the current where the cool winds blow. Yeah, we staying easy while the hours collapse. Living in the middle of these peaceful gaps. Old dusty record spinning round on the plate, telling me it's fine if the answer is fate. I see the neighbors moving fast down the street while I stay planted with the dust on my feet. There is beauty in the way that the silence survives, filling up the empty parts of busy little lives. Got a pocket full of nothing and a heart full of rest, putting all the frantic energy to the test. Every single motion is a deliberate choice. Listen to the hum of a different kind of voice. Windows wide open, let the atmosphere in, tracing where the ending and the starts begin. No more running circles in a concrete maze, lost inside the comfort of a golden haze. The city is a whisper from a mile away. Nothing left to handle and nothing to say, just the cool vibration of the air on my skin. Knowing this exactly where I should have been, slow and deliberate like a river in the sand, holding all the stillness in the palm of my hand. Staring at the ceiling while the world goes by, catching every cloud in the corner of my eye. Gravity is holding when the weight is all gone. Walking on the gas until the break of the dawn. Keeping it steady and keeping it low. Following the current where the cool winds blow. Yeah, we staying easy while the hours collapse. Living is the middle of these peaceful gaps. Staring at the ceiling while the world goes by, catching every cloud in the corner of my eye. Gravity is holding and the weight is all gone. Walking on the gas until the break of the dawn. Keeping it steady and keeping it low. Following the current where the cool winds blow. Yeah, we staying easy while the hours collapse. Living in the middle of these peaceful gaps. I watch the shadows stretch across the hardwood floor, while the coffee steam climbs up the ceiling they ignore. No need to rush the clock or push the heavy door, just let the gravity settle until I find my core. The world is spinning out there in a frantic race, but I'm just tracing patterns in this quiet space. A slow motion movement without a trace of the pressure that tried to take my place. Everything is leaning to a softer hue, a different kind of vision coming into view. The dust is dancing in a beam of gold, leaving all the stories that I once was told. This is the twist, the trace, the weightless flow. No destination, just letting the tension go. Walking on air where the grass doesn't grow, just a steady pulse of the life I know. Keep it low, keep it low, keep it calm, keep it true. Filtering the gray till the light breaks through. Yeah, yeah. The radiator hums, a low and steady song, like a friend who knew the truth all along. My phone is face down, buried in the sheets, far away from the noise of the crowd it's too. Maybe I'll read a page or maybe I'll stare at the way the cool breeze moves the empty chair. There's a power in the pause that we never share, a quiet kind of magic hanging in the air. Everything is leaning to a softer hue, a different kind of vision coming into view. The dust is dancing in a beam of gold, leaving all the stories that I once was told. This is the drift, the weightless flow. No destination, just letting the tension go. Walking on air where the grass doesn't grow, just a steady course of the life I know. Keep it low, keep it low, keep it calm, keep it true. Filtering the gray till the light breaks through. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, yeah. This is the drift, the weightless flow. No destination, just letting the tension go. Walking on air where the grass doesn't grow, just a steady course of the life I know. Keep it low, keep it low, keep it calm, keep it true. Filtering the gray
used to shadow crawl across the hardwood floor while the dust danced slow and the street could go by the door. Gotta have filled glass and the mind is finally still. No more racing against the clock or climbing up the hill. Just the hum of the fridge and the way the curtains swing in the softest draft that the early evening brings. I put my phone on silent, let the notifications fade into the quiet corners of the plans I never made. The city outside is a blur of moving lights, but it stays behind the glass on these velvet nights. I'm sinking in the cushions till I'm part of the chant, finding all the answers in the cool and opening. Low frequency keeps the pulse beneath the soles, writing lines in the steam of the coffee bowls. Steady as the breath that leaves a weary chest, giving every heavy thought a place to rest. Moving like the water in a shallow creek, simple is the only language that I speak. Weightless in the pocket of a slow groove, waiting for the spirit and the soul to move. There's a stack of old records leaning by the wall, songs about the rise and the beauty of the fall. I don't need the fire, I just need the steady glow, learning how to let the seasons come and let them go. No pressure on the pen, just liquid on the page, leaving all the static and the tension on the stage. I found a different cadence in the ticking of the clock, solid as a pebble hidden deep inside a rock. The city outside is a blur of moving lights, but it stays behind the glass on these velvet nights. I'm sinking in the cushion, still I'm part of the chair, finding all the answers in the cool and helping air. Low frequency keeps the pulse beneath your soles, riding line in the steam of the coffee bowls. Steady as the breath beneath a weary chest, giving every thought a place to rest. Moving like the water in a shallow creek, simple is the only language that I speak. Weightless in the pocket of a slow groove, waiting for the spirit and the soul to move. Low frequency keeps the pulse beneath the soles, writing lines in the steam of the coffee bowls. Steady as the breath that leaves a weary chest, giving every heavy thought a place to rest. Moving like the water in a shallow creek, simple is the only language that I speak. Weightless in the pocket of the soul groove, waiting for the spirit and the soul to move. Low frequency keeps the pulse beneath the soles, writing lines in the steam of the coffee bowls. Steady as the breath that leaves a weary chest, giving every heavy thought a place to rest. Moving like the water in a shallow creek, simple is the only language that I speak. Weightless in the pocket of the soul groove, waiting for the spirit and the soul to move.
I woke up leaning on the window pane, watching sunlight dance across the countertop again. The tea is deep and slow while the record starts to spin. I'm letting all the heavy chapters finally wear thin. No destination marked upon the kitchen wall, just the shadow stretching long as the evening starts to fall. I found a rhythm in the way the quiet breeze, like the rustle of the wind moving through the elder leaves. Forget the clock that's ticking in the hallway light. I buried all my restless worries deep within the night. The coffee steam is rising in the lazy silver curl. I'm disconnected from the static of a rushing world. My sneakers scuffing on the gravel near the gate. I realize there is beauty when you simply let it wait. The clouds are drifting low like ships without a mast, leaving every bit of memory buried in the past. Slow down the motion of the heavy hands of time, searching for the reason in a simple easy rhyme. Just floating on the surface of a deep and steady blue. Everything is clear when I'm getting close to you. It's the weightless feeling of a summer afternoon, staying in the moment while we hum a mellow tune. No more chasing phantoms that are hiding in the gray. Be our golden honey in the middle of the day. Slow down the motion of the heavy hands of time, searching for the reason in a simple easy rhyme. Just floating on the surface of a deep and steady blue. Everything is clear when I'm getting close to you. It's the weightless feeling of a summer afternoon, staying in the moment while we hum a mellow tune. No more chasing phantoms that are hiding in the gray. Be your golden honey in the middle of the day. The noise is faded to a hum behind the hill.
The universe is spinning, but the heart is sitting still. We don't need the answers or a map to find our way. We simply need the courage to allow ourselves to stay in the cradle of the silence where the colors start to blend, knowing that the peaceful path is never gonna end. I'm leaning back against the porch and closing up my eyes. The orange tint of sundown is a welcome soft surprise. My pockets are all empty, but my spirit feels so light, like a bird that's finding shelter just before the edge of night. No pressure on the lungs and no shouting in the street, just the cooling of the pavement underneath my tired feet. It's a channel kind of magical and everything in place. I can see the honest truth upon a stranger's smiling face. Slow down the motion of the levy ends of time, searching for the reason in a simple easy rhyme. Just floating on the sentence of the deep and stay new. Everything is clear when I'm getting close to you. It's the way left feet another summer afternoon, staying in the moment while we hum a Vezo tune. No more chasing phantoms that are hiding in the gray. Why you golden honey, you a hazel of the day. Slow down the motion of the heavy hands of time, searching for the reason in the simple easy rhyme. Just floating on the edges of the deep and stay blue. Every goal is clear when I'm getting close to you. It's the weightless feeling of a summer afternoon, staying in the moment while we hum a mellow tune. No more chasing phantoms that are hiding in the gray. We are golden honey, you and me, I love the day.
Ice cubes rattle in the ceramic cup. The afternoon leans heavy against the blinds. I'm tracing dust walks till the sun goes down, leaving all the tangled wires behind. Just a slow drift on the quiet tide. No need to check the clocks upon the wall. Gravity feels like a gentle friend, watching the long shadows start to sprawl. Park the car beneath the sprawling oak, the engine humming softly to a halt. The scent of pine needles and dead bird, replacing every bitterness and fall. Window rolled down just a tiny crack to let the coolness settle on my skin. The world is shouting somewhere far away, but I won't let the frantic static in. Safe inside this pocket of the day, letting every heavy motion fade. A golden syrup dripping through the trees, walking through the garden in the shade. Stillness constant and the air so thin, finding where the better parts begin. No more chasing shadows in the street, just the softest landing on my feet. Maybe there's a secret in the pause, a hidden map inside the lack of haze. We spend our lives building up the walls until we find the honey in the waves. The simple lean of wood against the brick, the way the iron gate begins to tip. Found an old paperback between the scenes, the edges curled and yellowed at the spine. I read the same sentence 5 times over, counting out the meters in the line. Nothing pressing on the back of my mind, no anchors dragging through the deep blue floor. Just a steady breathing of the wind, opening a long forgotten door. Safe and far this pocket of the day, letting every heavy motion fade. Golden syrup dripping through the trees, walking through the garden in the shade. The stillness constant and it's just so thin, finding where the better parts begin. No more chasing shadows in the street, just the softest landing on my feet. Safe inside this pocket of the day, letting every heavy motion fade. Golden syrup dripping through the tree, walking through the garden in the shade. Stillness constant and the air so thin, finding where the better parts begin. No more chasing shadows in the street, just the softest landing on my feet. Ice cube spinning in a glass of tea, looking at the shadows on the balcony. The clock is ticking, but I let it slide. Nowhere to run and nowhere left to hide. Just the low hum of the ceiling fan, moving past the schemes and the master plan. The dust is dancing in a shaft of light, staying far away from the edge of night. Old shoes resting by the wooden door. I don't need to wonder like I did before. The radio is static, but the vibe is gold. Staying in the warmth away from the cold. Writing lines on the back of a grocery list. Finding all the moments that the busy missed. A little hazy like a summer dream. Floating down the slow and a steady stream. Yeah, take it as it comes and let it breathe. Nothing up my sleeve that I need to leave. Just a quiet pulse in a heavy world. Seeing every leaf as it stays unfurled. Golden hours stretching out so wide. Keeping all the peace that I feel inside. No more chasing what I cannot hold. Watching all the gray turn into gold, yeah. Maybe tomorrow I will pick up pace, but for now the stillness is my only space. The world is turning in a frantic race, while I find a home in a slower grace. Empty pages waiting for a gentle hand. Building little castles in the shifting sand. The coffee's bitter but the air is sweet. Feeling every brick on the empty street. I used to worry about the things I said. Now I just compose in my quiet head. The neighbors talking through the thin blue wall. I just lean back and I watch it fall, yeah. The pressure's fading like a dying spark. Safe and sound within the friendly dark. Nothing heavy left to drag around. Listen to the silence in the sound, yeah. Take it as it comes and let it breathe. Nothing on my sleep that it can leave. Just a quiet pulse in a heavy world. Seeing every leaf as it stays unfurled. Golden hours getting out so wide. Keeping all the peace that I feel inside. No more chasing what I cannot hold. Watching all the gray turn into gold, yeah. Take it as it comes and let it breathe. Nothing on my sleep that I can leave. Just a quiet pulse in a heavy world. Seeing every leaf as it stays unfurled. Golden hours stretching out so wide. Keeping all the peace that I feel inside. No more chasing what I cannot hold. Watching all the gray turn into gold, yeah.
Late afternoon, leaning heavy on the windowsill. Watches turning slow, keeping time against their will. Ice cubes melting down in a glass of herbal tea. Gravity is just a suggestion for a cat like me. Dust mics dancing in the bars of the golden light. No rush for the morning, no craving for the night. Just a steady pulse under the collar of my shirt. Walking all the grass without disturbing any dirt. Concrete feel like heavy when the sun begins to dip. Taking every moment with the long and steady sip. Neighbors hanging laundry while the radio plays low. Every deal we're catching has a way of moving slow. Phone is on the counter but the signal is a ghost. Raising up a silent silver butter slice of toast. Clouds are moving patterns like a mural in the sky. I don't need a map and I don't need a reason why. The horizon stretches out like a cat on a rug. Feeling all the warmth of a heavy summer hug. Let the world spin crazy on its tilted little pole. While the quiet tide starts to fill up every hole. Floating on the surface of a gentle afternoon. Humming out a melody and whistling a tune. Soft as the shadow of a wing across the floor. Cloving up the latch on the heavy wooden door. Easy as a breath that is leaving from my lungs. Speaking in the secrets of the quietest of tongues. Let the heavy feathers of the day drift down. Peace is the only jewel and paper crown. Old sneakers resting on the porch by the gate. Nobody is early and nobody is late. The city is a hum that is miles and miles away. Just the amber glow of the ending of the day. I see the silver lining in the kettle on the stove. Everything I wanted is the treasure in the cove. No more chasing phantoms through the alleyways of thought. Content with the lessons that the stillness finally taught. The horizon stretching out like a cat on a rug. Feeling all the warmth of a heavy summer hug. Let the world paint crazy on its tilted little pool. While its quiet tide starts to fill up every hole. Floating on the surface of a gentle afternoon. Humming out a melody and whistling a tune. Soft as the shadow of a wing on the floor. Cloving up the thatch on the heavy wooden door. Easy as the breath that I leave from my lungs. Speaking in the secrets of the quiet Easter tongues. Let the heavy feathers of the day drip down. Peace is the only jewel that is pep around. Of a gentle afternoon.
shadow of a wing around the floor, closing up the thatch on the heavy wooden door. Easy as the breath that is leaving from my lungs, speaking in the secrets of the quietest of tongues. Let the heavy sevens of the day drift down. Peace is the only jewel in this paper ground, floating on the surface of a gentle afternoon, humming out a melody and whistling a tune. Soft as the shadow of a wing across the floor, closing up the latch on the heavy wooden door. Easy as the breath that is leaving from my lungs, speaking in the secrets of the quietest of tongues. Let the heavy feathers of the day drift down. Peace is the only jewel in this paper ground.
Late night, amber glowing in the glass, watching all the heavy hours slowly pass. The concrete skin of the city feels cold. Stories of the hustle getting dusty and old. I keep my sneakers laced and my spirit loose. No more tightening the knot or the velvet noose. Just a steady lean against the brick and stone, finding comfort in the kingdom I claim alone. Lower the treble, let the bass line swell. There is a secret that the silence won't tell. I see the shadows stretching long on the floor. I stopped looking for the key to every door. The clouds are hanging low like a heavy quilt. Walking through the garden that the giants built. My pulses settle into a different frame, forgetting every number and every name. Hey.
Take it slow, let the gravity slide. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The heavy weight is lifting off the ground, lost in the center of a hollow sound. Let the world spin on a broken gear. There is nothing left to battle or fear, just a steady drift of a quiet mind, leaving all the jagged edges far behind.
Hey. The clock on the wall has lost its hands. I am drifting over silent, shifting sands. No pressure in the lungs, no grit in the eyes. The morning is a ghost that will never rise. A liquid motion in a world made of steel. The only thing left is the way that I feel. I used to chase the flash and the silver spark. Now I find the beauty in the velvet dark. The friction of the day is smoothed away. Nothing left to prove and nothing left to say. Just a casual stride on the hollow street. Listen to the cadence of my own feet. The air is thick with the scent of local rain, washing out the salt and the winter stain.
Level out the high and settle the low, watching how the embers begin to glow.
The mountain is moving while I stay still, bending the horizon to fit my will.
Take it slow, let the gravity slide. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The heavy weight is lifting off the ground, lost in the center of a hollow sound. Let the world spin on a broken gear. There is nothing left to battle or fear, just the steady drift of a quiet mind, leaving all the jagged edges far behind. Hey, hey, hey.
Laying on the threadbare sofa, watching shadows climb the wall. The sun is leaning low enough to stretch out through the hall. I keep my sneakers laced up tight with nowhere left to go. Just listening to the pipes inside the kitchen pacing slow. The afternoon is fading like a photo in the rain. A quiet kind of humming moving soft against my brain. There is a heavy kind of comfort in the way the air remains, just hanging in the silence while I'm drifting off the chains. The dust is dancing golden circles in a single beam. I am floating down a river in a half-forgotten dream. No pressure on the clock today, no numbers in the race, just the feeling of the morning light still resting on my face. I forgot to check the messages and let the kettle steam. Everything is lighter than it usually would seem. The neighborhood is sleeping while the traffic starts to thin. I am opening the window just to let the stillness in. Take it easy while the world is turning inside out. Find a little clarity and wash away the doubt. Moving through the motions till the heavy feeling lifts. Caught inside the beauty of the continental drift. Let the minutes wander till they finally disappear. Knowing there is nothing that I really have to care. Just a steady motion in the middle of the flow. Letting all the weight behind me finally let go, yeah. Ceiling fan is spinning like a record made of wood. I would change the station if I thought I really should, but the static sounds like water hitting pebbles in the stream, and the reality is blending with the edges of a scheme. I am looking at the skyline until the colors start to blur, thinking about the person that I definitely were before the concrete city tried to harden up my soul. Now I am back in balance and I'm back in full control. Take it easy while the world is turning inside out. Find a little clarity and wash away the doubt. Moving through the motions, through the heavy feel it lifts. Caught inside the beauty of the continental drift. Let the minutes wander till they finally disappear, knowing there is nothing that I really have to fear. Just a steady motion in the middle of the flow, letting all the weight behind me finally let go. Take it easy while the world is turning inside out. Find a little clarity and wash away the doubt. Moving through the motions till the heavy feeling lifts. Caught inside the beauty of the continental drift. Let the minutes wander till they finally disappear, knowing there is nothing that I really have to fear. Just a steady motion in the middle of the flow, letting all the weight behind me finally let go, yeah. Lean back in the velvet chair, watch the dust dance in the straight beam. Clock hands moving backwards like a slow motion daydream. My Carter feeling tucked away in the dusty old vinyl groove. The world is spinning fast, but I got nothing left to groove. Just a low frequency hum vibrating through the floorboards, cutting through the static and the clashing of the wall chords. Ice cubes clinking in a glass of herbal soda and lime, trading in my heavy boots for a steady stride of time. The sidewalk is a stage where the shadows play their part. I'm just a ghost in the crowd with a pacemaker heart. No destination on the map, just a compass pointing nowhere. Floating like a silk thread caught up in the cool air. Hey, hey. Hey. High altitude thoughts drifting over the valley floor, finding all the keys but I never touched the door. Let the heavy clouds break, let the heavy rain fall. I've seen it still while they're climbing up the wall. Easy as a breath, simple as an open hand, leaving every footprint buried in the shifting sand. Maybe there is gold in the silence of a hollow room. Maybe there is grace in the shadow of a fading bloom. I am not the hunter, I am not the frightened prize. I am just a witness with the sleepy kind of eyes. The traffic sounds like waves hitting on a distant reef. Every single moment is a momentary deep, but I am holding on to nothing, so there's nothing left to take. Watching all the ripples form across a frozen lake. My pulse is like a metronome set to a slower pace, keeping every worry from reflecting on my face. Street lights flickering like lanterns on a riverboat, writing every lyric on a tiny paper note. Then I let them scatter, let them fly into the dark. I am just a tiny glow, trying not to be a spark. The concrete is getting cooler as the evening turns to gray. I have said everything that I ever needed to say. Oh, high altitude thoughts drifting over the valley floor, signing all the keys, but I never touched the door. Let the heavy clouds break, let the heavy rain fall. I am standing still while they're climbing up the wall. Easy as a breath, simple as an open hand, leaving every footprint buried in the shifting sand. High altitude thoughts drifting over the valley floor, finding all the keys but I never touched the door. Let the heavy clouds break, let the heavy rain fall. I am standing still while they're climbing up the wall. Easy as a breath, simple as an open hand, leaving every footprint buried in the shifting sand. Leaving every footprint buried in the shifting sand.
Yeah. Lean back in the velvet sea, while the clock can't slow that crawl. Watching patterns on the ceiling, traces, shadows on the wall. Ice cubes clinking in the glass, like a tiny crystal bell. Got a pocket full of stories that I'm never gonna tell. The breeze moves through the curtains like a secret being kept, while the city finds its peace where the heavy worry slept. I'm drifting on a frequency that only I can hear, filtering the static till the atmosphere is clear. No pressure on the schedule, no demands upon the soul. Letting go of every piece to finally fill the hole. Shoes kicked up out the door and the window open wide, letting all the golden stillness settle down inside. My pulse beats like a steady drum rolling through the floor. I don't need a chasing ghost or knocking on the door, just a simple state of being in a world that's moving fast. Finding something quiet that I know is built to last.
Take it easy, let the heavy clouds dissolve away. Hold it silent till the ending of a weary day. Steady breathing till the tension turns to hollow air. Nothing left to carry and there's nothing left to bear. Floating high above the fiction and the jagged lines. Writing out my vision in the spaces and the signs. Keep it mellow while the universe begins to spin. This is where the cooling of the fever can begin.
Soft focus on horizon where the blue begins to fade. Resting in the comfort of the sanctuary we made. No more racing for the finish, no more gasping for a breath. Just the calm within the living and the dignity of depth. Heavy lids and light intentions, moving with the grace. Creating my own gravity within this narrow space. The weight belongs to yesterday, it doesn't fit the now. I'm learning how to let it go and finally learning how. Moonlight drips like honey on the edges of the room, dispelling every remnant of the lingering gloom. I'm grounded in the moment like a root beneath the soil, far away from all the friction and the bitterness of toil. The record spinning slowly, turning dust into a song. This is where the spirit knows exactly where it belongs. Not a single word is wasted, not a thought is out of place. Just a steady motion through the stretches of the space. Take it easy at the heady clock to solve away. All the signs till the ending of a weary day. Steady breathing till the tension turns to hollow air. Nothing left to carry and there's nothing left to bear. Floating high above the friction and the jagged lines. Writing out my vision in the spaces and the signs. Keep it mellow while the universe begins to spin. This is where the cooling of the fever can begin. Take it easy at the heady clock to solve away. Hold the silence till the ending of a weary day. Steady breathing till the tension turns to hollow air. Nothing left to carry and there's nothing left to bear. Floating high above the friction and the jagged lines. Writing out my vision in the spaces and the signs. Keep it mellow while the universe begins to spin. This is where the cooling of the fever can begin.